How does that position us for later this month's NVIDIA event? Since we own NVIDIA, it's a challenging one. We have those three since it's one of our larger positions, along with Apple and Meta. However, I believe it will rely on how that print is put up. There is an issue if experts are broadly optimistic and believe that, with all of this spending, the numbers are up and to the right forever. How logical are they becoming will be one aspect of this. The good news is that some analysts have pushed out statistics in recent days due to delays in their newest processor, the Blackwell. Some people are considering what we've seen with some of the hyperscalers and what they've discussed because whenever I hear a company say, well, the biggest risk is underinvested, a statement made in the first half of 2022 before we learned about ChatGPT and generative AI, investors simply don't want to ruin a good story, do they? Although Meta's stock has performed well and has generative AI, large corporations like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft do go through phases of incubation, and it was fairly obvious that even though they are spending a lot of money, the revenues may not be there, which is why all of the forward numbers are declining, and eventually they will say, you know what, we need to digest some of this spend. So what do you think about Alphabet in particular? They held this Google event and released the first Android upgrade driven by AI. The new Pixel 9 phones are here. Although I am aware that hardware is not usually what drives Alphabet stock, artificial intelligence played a significant role in today's messaging and talking points. Morgan, you need to ask yourself this straightforward question. Do you believe that Google's more than 90% search market dominance will be impacted by all of the money being spent on AI by companies like Microsoft and OpenAI? If your response is in the affirmative, then Google is having problems in the long run. Additionally, I found it concerning that while Meta was doing quite well, they were having trouble with their U2 company. To be really honest, I don't like Google or Short for that matter. Additionally, I enjoy the comparison between Meta and Meta, where Meta uses AI to suggest movies for you to watch and then use AI to display compelling advertisements. They experienced no issues at all. In that regard, I believe that pair to be fairly nice. Does it make sense to invest in an additional 493 stocks in the S&P 500 in light of the entire discussion we are having? Can we, I suppose, assertively state that the Magnificent Seven's growth is decreasing and that it's time to diversify? Indeed, one of the things we did after receiving that great sell-off on Monday of last week was to begin getting involved in a lot of different areas over that week. In other words, we have a telecom services firm, a basket of consumer basic stocks, and names in financial services that will profit in a variety of ways if interest rates begin to decline. The other 493 stocks have been largely forgotten about because, Magnificent Seven has been dominating the news cycle since the end of 2022. When we learn about this stuff called OpenAI and ChatGPT, etc., however, I must admit that I would be shocked if we didn't receive 3 rate cuts before the year ended. The market would undoubtedly be too. Some stock kinds will gain from that. What's causing such pricing reductions? As the economy slows down, you must deal with that. Whether it's from online travel agencies, hotels, airlines, or even home improvement companies, we keep hearing about consumers slowing down. You're hearing this all over this morning. Therefore, you want to consider where rate reduction can be beneficial. You're absolutely correct. In my opinion, take a look at the other 493. Yes, acquire your Nvidia keychain quickly for less than $10. We are offering a huge discount exclusively to the first 100 orders. As investors continue to be concerned about the return on investment for AI spending, Nvidia's shares are down about 6%. Here, the stock has dropped over 30% from its peak. Boris Schlossberg, our Trade CNBC contributor, is the managing director of foreign exchange strategy at BK Asset Management. Boris, Nvidia may suffer if customers downplay the necessity for a significant AI investment. I'm not sure what's going on with the Blackwell chips and all that, but the price action alone is getting everyone's attention. Here, what are you doing with the stock? I believe it's similar to PTSD for all of us who have survived doom here. Is this another Cisco? Not in my opinion. But I still believe AI has a lot of potential. Nvidia will undoubtedly gain the most from it. Indeed, there is still a lot of demand for the Blackwell chips. and they plan to begin shipping them in the third quarter. It's certainly one of the more intriguing chances at the moment, in my opinion, considering all of the upheaval they've experienced and the correction they've already undergone from the highs. The best course of action, given the volatility, is to sell options against it and wait for it to happen. For instance, if you buy a put that expires this week at $1.87, you will receive $1 and be able to purchase the stock for a discount of $13 to 133%. Therefore, if I were to invest in Nvidia at this time, I would just sell puts and wait for the stock to reach me, because I believe it would still be a very, very strong bet in the long run. Over the past 3 trading days, the Magnificent Seven's 3 worst performing companies, Nvidia, Tesla, and Amazon, have all seen declines of 11% to 13%. Since the commencement of the most recent selling fight last Thursday, only Meta has been positive. Come learn what he's observing in the tech industry. Ray Wang, Principal Analyst with Constellation Research. Once more, good morning. Nice to see you. On the downside, Ray, would you purchase everything or nothing? In order to determine whether we were truly in full panic mode or whether we would return, I was going to wait to see what was happening with a few more data points. And it was encouraging to see in the morning that, we had a reversal, and that people were genuinely waking up and realizing that, one piece of data wouldn't cause everyone to overcorrect. However, this is a good moment to investigate this, and I believe that some stocks are genuinely succeeding in the AI space, with Nvidia, of course, continuing to be present. We will not be able to determine how they will, what their forecasts for Q3 will be until August 28th. More significantly, though, they will still be among the winners. You brought up Amazon. In the long run, that one will be interesting to monitor, because I would be concerned about Amazon if the retail industry did decline and consumer spending did decline. However, we are witnessing some intriguing things. For instance, Uber stated yesterday that better price matching, better ride batching, algorithmic improvements have actually improved their ability to actually get more profitable. AI is already generating revenue. Of course, Meta has done a tremendous job with their open models, which are enabling them to open source their AI while also gaining additional data to further their exponential efficiency and precision targeting for ad growth. Thus, in that sense, Meta is a fantastic stock. Naturally, Nvidia is an excellent one based on what you said. Ray, do you simply disregard it when we have times like this when perhaps it's based on a carry trade or currency fluctuations? Do you worry that, the multiple is kind of rich, and depending on what happens in the macro world, everything could be marked down, or do you just concentrate on what you know about each company separately? How is it done? What are you searching for? Do you only seek for chances to engage in your favorite activities? Right now, the main focus is on possibilities to invest in the AI revolution, and you need to determine which businesses would benefit from this technology. As a basic illustration, Adobe is profiting from AI by selling AI software. We will observe Microsoft's performance in terms of the programs they sell. Oracle has performed admirably in that regard. One business that has experience with AI is Palantir. The space has been occupied by C3. We want to find out who has the highest revenue increase, isn't that right? It always boils down to the prediction of the weather. It is individual stocks, though. The macro, however, is a more serious problem. Indeed, the concept of debt that was previously articulated is accurate. Because of the debt bubble and slower population development, China is a market that is experiencing severe problems. They will be in a difficult situation. In fact, they will resemble Japan in 20 years, and Japan was destroyed due to MMT's failure. Therefore, the U.S. market won't be destroyed by a single data item, such as the number of jobs in the country. However, yesterday's sentiment was really negative. Get your Nvidia keychain quickly for less than $10. We are offering a huge discount exclusively to the first 100 orders.